The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Oh, baby, we got a show for you guys today. How are you? Welcome into the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the book. Same on X and Twitter. We're replayed on Sports Grid TV, where you will see our guest, who was supposed to be on yesterday, but she's coming on today. We know Kasey Hudson, at least Dave has confirmed it, that she should be by today at some point to have a conversation with us today. After yesterday, a little bit of a vet issue. Now she's coming in today. We'll talk some hockey. We'll talk some Tampa Bay sports with the Bucks getting blown out last night to the Ravens and more. We'll do that a little bit later on in the program. Sports Grid TV replay, Sirius XM, channel 159 replay each and every late night, 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern for you late night owls. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Dave, there are sports. I mean, you can't have too many sporting events to watch and bet on, but boy, today's got a lot going on. How are you?
So, I mean, it's crazy. And why are you wearing all this green? Like, what's going on today with all this green?
Let's go. Banner 18. Opening night.
Is everybody playing? I mean, is everybody playing? I was right for the record. Thank you, Chef Benny. Or no, that was Lewis. That was Lewis. Rainmaker.
This is Lewis. Yeah, this is Lewis. This is
one of the two of you.
A Lewis special.
One of our many, I guess, fans, brigade members,
BVB brigade members. Yes.
Yeah. If you're new to the show, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
This is a Larry Bird.
That is a Roger Long.
Senior
member of the brigade.
What's that?
And, sent that. He sent us care packages in the past. It's a classic. And then that hat, our man Corbin made sure you got one of those. I did not get one of those, although that's a nice ass hat. That's a nice hat. I like that hat.
He had it for a month and a half. He held it for me.
I know.
You get down there for a month and a half.
Yeah, because you went back in the summer.
Oh, yeah. It was all around. I came back and I was like, hey, do you have that hat? He's like, yeah, I got that hat for you. It was like, you are the man. I was like, that is.
He had it set aside. I was going to bring it home twice. And he's like, do you want to take it? I'm like, no. Just leave it here. Yeah. I know it's here. And then I went and got it and delivered it after you got back. But that was good.
Yeah. So this is a Larry Bird. This thing is a Boston Connection, Terre Haute, Indiana, Boston Celtics warm-up jacket, shooting jacket from Larry Bird.
Right.
This might be one of my favorite possessions of my life. Like I don't have much for sports memorabilia, but this is I love this thing. When this thing showed up, I was like, Roger. It's like, what? This is a classic. Like, how do you have this thing? A Terre Haute, Indiana. He's been to this bar. Larry Bird owned a bar in Terre Haute, Indiana, which is the home of the Sycamores, not in Indiana State. It's good stuff. Midwest to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, that's great. And if you're all here, just start it off right off the bat. Are you watching hockey tonight or are you watching basketball?
All.
Because there's no baseball.
All. C. I'm voting C. All.
Do you need to watch the basketball?
Yes.
Is there any doubt who's going to win?
Oh, I don't know, but I want to beat the shit out of the Knicks.
Whoa!
Let's go.
I mean, under 5 minutes. That's like that's a
I want to
gift.
Them. I want to kill them.
Goal in first 5. That was a gift. Right
like
there.
I want to destroy the Knicks tonight. I want an embarrassment tonight.
If you ask our crowd in here right now, again, it's in a very welcoming, interactive crowd.
Yes.
Ask them, give them a poll right off the top.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Pick them one thing, basketball or hockey.
I only can watch one thing all night.
Watch one thing.
Oh, Celtics, Knicks, not even a question. That's
See,
not even.
you're the
That's not
only
even-
one. You
not even-
and one other Knicks fan will be watching that.
Not that.
Yeah.
That's not even true. There'll be so many Celtics fans who will watch it. Who watch tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean they won't be watching? Let's see. When
tonight,
are the Bruins playing? The
tonight
Bruins
is
are playing the Predators tonight. That's
tonight-
a monster matchup.
Tonight is the beginning. The beginning. And Will, I'm going to be on one today, so just get the button ready. Tonight is the beginning of the Fuck You tour.
Oh! Wow!
Do you understand what
Jeez.
tonight is? Do you
Wasn't
know
ready for that.
Do you know what tonight is?
Oh my God!
Tonight is the beginning of everyone. Steve Kerr's at the top of the list.
Uh-oh!
At the top of the list.
Here we go.
There are so many Celtic players. Like, this is not a fan thing. This is a Celtic Joe Mazzulla driven Celtic player thing.
Oh,
They have been waiting to go and see everyone who told them that they weren't. You guys can't win because the path is too easy. You guys aren't good enough. Tatum's overrated. Jaylen Brown can't dribble. The bench isn't deep enough. I mean, this team was given so many insults, not just during the year, but then after the year. Because you had Jaylen Brown gets left off the Olympic team. Jason Tatum is on the Olympic team, and they don't play him. They don't play him. I mean,
I still don't understand that, but that's okay.
Oh, these two guys, I can't wait for this season. Last year was awesome. Getting banner 18, getting the ring on Jason's finger was great because it takes all the pressure off. They can just go play. But now they can go take over. Now it's not just about going and playing. Now it's about taking over.
Right.
And here come this Nick. My game one with Karl Anthony Towns, like game one out of the gate. The NBA is making him do this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Uh-oh. It's gonna be so fun. This should be so fun. I can't wait. It's game one, so I'm going light. I'm not betting heavy. I'm going light, but it's gonna be fun this year. Yeah, I'm with you, Marcel. I'm all for Jaylen Brown to get the final say. I agree. MVP, Jaylen Brown. He's not even on the first page of the leaderboard of the options betting board, Dave.
Right. Well, I mean, contrary to your belief, there are other teams in the league.
Sure. I just thought, my gosh. Just thought there was something. Going on.
There are other teams in the league. There are other good players in the league. You know this, right?
Yeah, but NBA players, not technically, but can traditionally come from the top teams.
Did you put this poll up? I didn't see it.
I did. Oh,
I didn't see it. I missed it. Why can't I see it? Oh, no. I don't see it.
Sorry. Hold on.
All right. Man, oh, man.
I'll do it again. It didn't take for some reason.
It is going to be a long year, Shrew, listening to Matt talk Celtics. Listen, it'll be fun because they are the best team. They won it last year. They're plus 360 to win it all. What's it's going to be long. It's a long season anyway. I mean,
it's very long season. Yes. I mean, it's October. This is June. We go to June. The NBA year is long. Yeah. Really long.
And contrary to other reports, we still will be doing the show in June when the Celtics get the championship.
I don't know. I've been telling you.
Don't know. Well, I mean, it's pick 'em whether we'll be doing the show, but it's not really
pick 'em. Doing the show. Which is, are they going to win it all? Yeah, Celtics are everything. I'm with you, Chef Benny. Celtics are everything. I don't know if I am. Look, I'm supportive of it. I want it to happen. It's just going back to back in the NBA, going back to back in any sport is so hard to do.
Why do you besmirch the Chiefs for doing it so much then?
So much did it once.
Yeah, but you downplayed it like it's not a big deal. It's very, very hard.
How many times
said it?
Patriots did it? How many times?
Nobody gives a crap about the Patriots today.
You're asking me how hard it is. How many times did the Pats do it?
Let it go.
How many? Answer the question. How many times did the Patriots do it?
How many times did the Steelers do it? I don't know.
How many times
did the Steelers do it?
They never did it once.
Steelers 3 in a row. Back to back.
They did 3 in a row.
Steelers did not do 3 in a row.
Oh.
If you're going to report things, let's be accurate.
They won 4 and 5
years. They won
right?
2 in a row twice. How many times did the Patriots
do it was in between. So I was trying
to figure out. How many times did the Patriots do it?
2 times.
Same as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Correct. And I'm not just you're bringing up the Steelers. I
didn't bring up the Steelers. You brought up the Patriots. You're telling me
I'm besmirching the Chiefs. So I'm telling you I'm besmirching the Chiefs because the Chiefs did it once.
You just said how hard it is to do, though. It's very hard.
It is hard. It's 100% hard.
Today's world.
Yes, it's hard to repeat in any sport. It's extremely hard to repeat. In of the big four major sports, basketball, hockey, and baseball may be the most difficult just because of the longevity, how long you have to play to get those done. Football is the most violent, obviously. It's the most injuries you have to go ahead and deal with.
Right.
But Steelers and the Pats did it twice. Chiefs did it once. You brought up the Chiefs. I'm just telling you, I don't know if Boston repeats simply because of how tough it is to do it. The Eastern Conference is the conference you want to be in. If you're going to repeat, you want to be in the East. But
yeah, because the path, right? We're gonna. How many times are we gonna hear about the path?
Here we go.
Let's get a T-shirt made. The path. Nice jacket, homie. Tell them, Raj. You did
Roger.
Good with that one, Roger.
Thank you, Roger.
You did good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Zach O'Shea said
it's
Patriots
funny.
championship.
Zach, how old are you?
Relevant as Yankees rings.
How old are you, Zach? How old are you? Tell me the
time.
Tell him,
Zach.
How old are you? I need to know how old Zach is because it's important.
Let's go Yankees.
Because 2018 was 6 years ago. Like it wasn't that long ago. Like
a long time.
So what's 2009?
Longer.
Long time ago. Long time ago. That's what I thought. So you're 33 years old. So 6 years ago it was a long time to you. So I understand that point. So in 2009, how old were you? Do the math. So like
I was
little different. Just a little different. Just a little different.
Don Farrell. Good to see you, Don Farrell. LFGGGGGG. AZ Cardinals. Man, Dodgers and Cardinals winning makes this a good week.
That's an interesting combination.
Dodgers and Cardinals.
You're
Don Farrell.
You're not a Diamondback fan. You're a Dodgers and a Cardinal fan. I don't understand that. I never did. I didn't get that in Alabama. I didn't get that in Nebraska. I didn't get that in Iowa. I don't understand my picking and choosing of teams. I get to just cherry pick.
People love the Yankees. They love the Yankees.
I don't understand. It's so strange to me. I don't understand how you can just say I'm a Dodger, Laker, Nick or Celtic or Nick or Yankee fan. Like I just don't understand this whole I'm gonna put it all together and that makes sense to me. And they all have answers. Everyone who does that, they all have wonderful stories. My grandfather's sister's brother's guy used to babysit me, and he turned on the Yankees, and I became a Yankee fan. It's all just it doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right.
Can't just be, I was born in, I live in Phoenix, so I'm a Cardinal fan. Oh, great. So you like D-backs? No, I don't like the D-backs. Well, why? Well, because D-backs, they won a World Series. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really Diamondback fans. I like the Phillies. Or I like the Yankees, or I what? How does this happen?
What about if you live in Florida a lot of your life, and then you move to the New York City metro area? How do you pick that mess?
Where you're from? Your fandom is something that is formed in your childhood. I just don't get this idea if I get to move around and change. I'm sorry, Jessica, I love you. I don't get the Chief thing.
Tell her.
I just don't
get it. Now we're talking. Now I'm back on the team.
I don't
Here
get
we go.
it. I don't understand the
forgot
idea.
Where she came from.
I just don't get it. If you're a Steeler fan, I'm a Steeler fan. That's great. Now, because you and look, I'm a Tay Swifty Sue. I like Taylor. I'm good. Okay. I took my daughter to see Taylor. I got everything. I got posters in my house of Taylor, and we're good. I get the idea, but her boyfriend plays for the Chiefs. So because her boyfriend plays for the Chiefs, you're now a Chief fan? I just
root for the Chiefs openly.
I just don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
You turn your back on your home city because of a podcast? I love their podcast. The podcast is great, but really? That's how flimsy the fandom is, that you just flip on and go with New Heights because Travis and Jason are funny?
Can you imagine if we can get one of the Kelseys on the show? And she'll actually watch our show if that happens. One. And two, she'll come on. She might get in the chat. Even.
Of course, she'll be all over us.
Yeah, and be like, hey,
you'll be
make sure you ask about this, and make sure she'll send the question.
She'll be a producer. You'll be a real at that moment, you will become a real media member to your wife. If you interview Jason or Travis Kelce, you will become finally Jessica will say you're a real media member.
I was on the field last year for the pregame, all that other stuff. And she's like, did you take a picture with Travis? And I'm like, yeah, he's standing right behind me. Look, 3 feet behind me. And she's like, well, can you FaceTime with him and tell him so I can say, no,
These are
I'm
the same
not.
questions my daughter asked me, by the way.
Yeah.
I got the same questions from
Yeah.
Madeline.
No.
Oh, it's too good. That's tremendous.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. When I was in Nebraska, I met so many Yankee and Dodger fans, and their answers and their explanations were incredible. Just the way you explain it was tremendous. Dave is a real media. Yes, Dave is real media.
Try my best, football guy 97. Nobody believes it. I mean, it's pain. It's a lot of pain in my own house.
You're wearing the Tampa stuff. Do we go to Tampa now?
I mean, as long as she's ready to take her first shift on
Yeah.
BBB,
I think she's ready.
We got to make sure she's ready.
I think she's ready. Debuting, you guys see Kasey on with Dave on Sports Grid. She's joining us here on the Bostonian versus
right in the big box.
Kasey, Matt, and Dave, how are you? I haven't met you before, so good to meet you. I know Dave works with you on Sports Grid. How are you? Thank you for being with us here on BVB.
I'm so good. I'm so excited to chat with you guys. Yeah, Dave has to put up with me a couple times a week, so lucky him. Him.
This is what line mates do. I mean, and I know you're a hockey nut. You've dubbed everybody. You give everybody hockey nicknames. Okay, Matt has a very French Canadian sounding name. Perrault is how probably you know the Frenchies.
It's supposed to be Perrault, but it's Perrault.
It's Perrault. I call him P-Rolt. All right, you're known as Huddy. You call me all kinds of things.
What do you call Dave? What's Dave's nickname? I need to know. What's Dave's nickname?
We've gone with a couple. I feel like yesterday I called you Sharpie.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Like
what do you want? What do you think we should call Matt? Case. What do you think here? Because I call you again? Case. I call you Huddy.
So my last name is Perrault, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 25% French Canadian. It's supposed to be Perrault. But my 5-time grandfather removed when he came down from Quebec to go to the mills in Lawrence, Mass. You couldn't get hired as a Canadian, as a French Canadian. So he dropped the E and made our name Perrault. So I'm supposed to be Perrault, but it's Perrault. So
all right. So your nickname's Rosie.
Rosie.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. That's
what we're going with.
All right.
We added the S in there, but you're Rosie.
Well, everything ends in I or Y, right?
That's fine. My daughter's Maddie. Yep, yeah. I'm down with that. Let's go.
There you go, Maddie and Rosie. Mm-hmm.
All right,
I'm good with that.
So last night, you and I do the pregame show every Monday and Thursday for the primetime games, and then you stay on and you do the post-game show, and you're on throughout the week, halftime shows and all this other stuff. What'd you think of that game last night? As far as like Tampa provided no resistance and Mike Evans to catch 2 touchdowns, you had at plus 950 Case.
Pain.
He catches the first touchdown, and I'm like, we're going to hit this. I can't wait for the tweet.
I had it ready.
The second one, and he falls. Instead of holding on to the ball, he grabbed his right hamstring.
Yeah.
What came out of your mouth right then at that time?
Well, for one, I forgot that there's a whole other show going on in the studio still. So I'm in the conference room losing it. And we know Kevin Walsh is not a big fan of like outside noise. So I had to reel it in really fast as I was like, so it was like 3 reactions in one, because initially I was like, I told the like going off. I'm like, I told them. I told them.
You have an image to uphold, but you can say whatever you want. This is a free space zone.
Yeah. I've already said 3 swears today. So.
We're over the swear words already today.
I've already done so.
So you can say whatever you want. So reaction number 1 was what?
I told these guys what was going to happen, and they didn't trust me on it. And 2, this is payback. So haha. And I'm sitting here saying all this stuff, and they're over here like, Case, I don't know if the touchdown went through. And I was like, it went through. We're good. We're good. Like, somebody tweeted out right now, this is so good to go. And I'm still yelling about it. And they're like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, why are you working against me here? So I'm still just talking, which is so embarrassing, because I thought I saw a clear touchdown. And then the first one happened so fast. And it's Mike Evans. Like, how many touchdowns by Mike Evans get called back when he's clearly in bounds? So it took them a minute to reel me in. And then I even started to tweet out myself. I don't know if you got a notification. They got deleted because
you've done this.
I tweeted.
I've got you before. Waiting for your tweet, and then you so you didn't send it, right?
No, I did send it, but I deleted fast this time because I was like, I was like, hello, gentlemen. I put, hi, gentlemen, it's me. And you MFers were wrong.
Oh,
the plus 950.
Hello.
But no, I literally put MFers. I didn't call
Okay.
you guys like, yeah, I didn't, it's not that intense, but I literally put like, you MFers were wrong. And then I put plus 950 on the side of it. And literally as I hit send is when they confirmed like it did not go through. And I so quickly deleted it. I was just like, this is brutal. So I was humbled yesterday. That's for sure.
Because it happens.
Humbling, isn't it?
I had Baker with over 1.5 touchdowns, but what'd you make of the second half of that game? Because it was 41-18.
Right.
That game turned into a sweat. Like somehow, some way, that game turned into I laid 3.5, and I'm like kicking my heels up, and we're all good. Is it bothersome that the teams just stopped playing in the second half?
Of course, it's bothersome because there's so much talent on that roster. But if you're being an honest fan, one of the worst things that Tampa Bay's defense has been known to do is just like tackle ghost. I don't know who they're tackling on the field sometimes. It's just like, I get it's spooky season, but where are we going? Right. And KJ Britt's one of the guys, sometimes it's just all bull, no horns. It's as if he learned from Devin White too much and just runs in certain directions. It can be more, they can get in the way of his teammate versus be an impactful play. So I just saw a lot of mess in terms of bad mistakes kind of rearing their ugly head because there's a lot of talent on this team. And Aiden Winfield Jr. can't do it all. Whitehead's been a little bit more silent than I would have appreciated because he's been a versatile player in their system before. So it was kind of daunting to watch for a minute because I'm like, here we go again. But then they started to rally. Of course, as excited as you are as a Tampa Bay fan to be like, oh, they have a chance to get back in this, the reality of them getting back in it and the reality of starters still being involved when people were going down injury after injury after injury, that was senseless.
Well, that's the Godwin injury, right? I mean, Godwin blows his knee out and with 48 seconds to play and he's done for this season. So, the hamstring is going to be tricky for Mike Evans. That's a touch and go thing for a couple of weeks. So you got to make sure that he gets that correct, but Godwin's gone.
Yeah.
Like in a blowout loss, Godwin's out for the year.
Yeah. And like, again, clearly my attention span as to what's going on and what's going on in my head can be a little different sometimes. But the guys were mentioning that even if they got another onside kick, even if they got another touchdown or whatever, the Bucs were going to be short by 1 point. It didn't seem like it was going to stack up favorably between the time on the clock and the amount of plays that they would be able to get in. So keeping that in mind, or at least hearing that, it was really weird to see that Chris Godwin's out there still trying to make big plays happen. You don't have time for big plays. Like, it's exciting that you started to crawl back into this. Your dignity is, not as on the line. You narrowed the margin of the loss. Sometimes that's how it is in hockey. You narrow the margin of the loss by picking up an empty netter and whatnot, but you're not going to win the game. So from what I saw and from what I heard and from what could potentially play out, it was like a 2% chance of winning. And I know that you wanted to beat the Ravens, but it's week 7, 8 that we're in. You don't need to put your top guys on the line to win a game that's not, we're not even at the full halfway point yet. It was senseless.
It was brutal. And they did cover the teasers on the back end, but they were looking like, you hear everybody in the space. Oh, they're trying to cover the spread. They're not even trying to cover the spread. Everybody.
No, they're not thinking of that.
No, but the other game that was going on.
Some coaches do though.
Listen,
some coaches
talk about college football. Would you stop, please? So, Casey, while this is going on,
I mean, in your game, Dave, in your game, you tell me why. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but you tell me why field goals are getting kicked in games that don't matter. You're down 10, kicking field goals.
Would you
just
focus?
saying?
Could you focus?
just saying.
Please stay with us here.
I'm almost okay with where he's going because what game you're about to bring up here is just another.
Well, I want you to show off all of your talents and stuff. How do you make a game like that even exciting? We tried our best to do 3 segments on it pregame, and we all said the under. It lived up to the under. It was a tough game, and then there were bad calls. There were all kinds of things, and the end result is the Chargers lose a game where it was pick 'em. By the time the game kicked, it was -1 or pick 'em. But what did you talk about after that game? Oh
my gosh, there was only one thing to talk about. It was the fact that Herbert had 300 plus passing yards and no touchdowns to even facilitate his statistics. How do you get that kind of yardage? And they kick 3 field goals and that was the end result for them. So that's what made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sorry, there you go.
1750,
Clearly I tapped out.
Yeah,
Clearly I
pick
tapped
five.
out after field goal 3, actually.
Right, yes.
By the time I saw it for the third time, I was like, no deja vu for me. We're good here. So
Right.
the good news was how fast that misery went by. But yeah, it's brutal to watch that for the Chargers. I was very excited for Harbaugh to get over there for them and for Herbert to just have a chance at something more. But losing to the Cardinals, nothing against the Cardinals, but the clock management, 300 passing yards, that's the only two things you could really look at that game without it being a complete snooze fest.
Yeah, it caused me to reevaluate my entire NFL gambling career. I mean, the not only was the game horrible, but watching the way the game was officiated, I can't understand the NFL this year. And I know the public has done very well the last 2 weeks. So if you guys are going to run to my mentions and tell me how good you're doing, congratulations. Okay, you got annihilated. The first 6 weeks of the season was historic. You got destroyed.
How come they don't send them then?
I don't know. I don't know. But everyone's like, I've been doing great. I'm like, yeah, the first 6 weeks you got crushed, historically crushed, and no one wants to acknowledge that. But when you watch games, does it get frustrating when you're clearly seeing calls be made and then flags being picked up and the explanation doesn't really make any sense? Because uncatchable, fine, you can say that, but on a double move, the flag that Harbaugh says, like, let them talk about it. But how can you call a ball uncatchable when you have a holding penalty? Just call holding then. Like, there's a rule place. Right. I get very frustrated with the NFL. How have you felt like going towards watching these games and betting these games? Do you ever become frustrated?
Absolutely, because they're making some of these plays so convoluted. Sometimes I have no idea what was wrong with the play. Which one are we sticking with here? Because I'm trying to remember which game specifically it was where it was like an illegal motion, but when they played it back, even the commentators were like, what part of this was illegal in order for him to get out of his stance and start moving off the line? Like, so then I'm like, okay, so then do we, like, what are we doing?
Right.
We're trying to protect the guys, but we're not protecting them by not allowing them to be in like a proper formation or like a proper form for their body coming off the line. Like the trenches are just getting like really hard to evaluate specifically. And then just the slowness of them being games where there's so many penalties as well. That's the hard part. You can have an exciting matchup, but by the second quarter and 10 penalties later, you're just ready to be done with the game. And then from a betting standpoint, you're losing props, you're losing yardage by a margin of like 5 yards because it happened to be a called back play because of the convoluted amount of flags that are going off for a play or a call that doesn't entirely make sense. I mean, when Dave and I do the show with Tom Vecchio, I know that he's had an opportunity to probably go 3 for 3 in a number of his, parlay betting cards. And one of those legs falls off because of a penalty getting called back. Yeah. So, I mean, I as a bettor, that's freaking frustrating because depending on the time of the clock, the positioning, the play calling, you don't know if that play's ever coming back, but like you were there, you had it. So people are missing bets by a margin that's so small because a lot of these penalties, and then only a handful of them are making sense this season, honestly, in my personal opinion. You can guard the game, but now you're just taking away from the game. And if you slow down an exciting game like football too much, nobody's going to want to watch it. Especially me, who's already like a hockey head for a fast-paced game. Like, you're not going to get my attention span.
Where I'm going to lead to right now, because today the NHL, one day a year, decides to do something where every team is playing, and every 15 minutes, starting at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, there's a hockey game starting. And the last one is Kings Golden Knights out here in Vegas, but we got 16 hockey games today, Case. And I know your past has been involved in hockey. You love hockey. I love hockey. A lot of people that watch the show love hockey.
Hello, hockey.
It's a fast game. I feel like at least in hockey, we get, like in other sports, they look for a reason sometimes to not play because they're hurt. In hockey, they look for a reason to play more when they're hurt. It's just a different mentality. And I feel like you're talking about the officials in football and more flags. The complaint about hockey a lot of times is, geez, they let them play. Like the referee just looks at them like, get up. I'm not calling that, at least right now, right? So it's a different sport. But how excited are you for today as a hockey fan?
Oh, it's like a holiday. They finally got this this thing that's been an idea for seasons. They finally were able to kind of piece together the logistics of it and make it work last season. And the take to it was amazing. I mean, even newer hockey fans or people that don't particularly watch the sport, they loved the coverage of the Frozen Frenzy. They loved the fact that the excitement all panned out. I think they did really good also with lining up the games. Because if you look at the matchups, I mean, there's really not one that's a snoozer in my opinion. And then there's a couple of games, more than a handful of games that can have an upset alert around it. So I think that this is good in a number of ways. It's good because like real hockey fans, you're getting an evaluation point at that first, level of the season to see where some of these teams are. For one, as a newer hockey fan, you're seeing why this fast-paced game is so exciting, and you're going to be able to check that off across 16 different games, for one. And then if you're, if you don't have a team yet, you don't have to. The excitement's never going to end. It starts at 6 and it's going to go all the way throughout the night, and then you can potentially find a team tonight.
Who's your team, Case? Why are the Lightning your team? Tell everybody why.
Because I'm from Tampa Bay.
So you're not changing. You're not changing. Like you're moved up to New Jersey and for Sports Grid and everything. No. You're sticking. Like you're not picking the Rangers.
No way.
Devils or like
Speaking of picks, though, explain this to me, okay? So the Nashville Predators, everybody was all hot and bothered. Here come Nashville. Here come the Predators. If you can't tell,
a lot of money.
I'm the Bruins guy on the show. The Bruins are dogs tonight against a team that has 0 points. Explain this to me, please, because I don't understand this for 1 second. While the Bruins are this big of a dog to a donut Predator team tonight.
It surprised me too, but I'll say this. The desperation factor, it plays differently in hockey. And I think that that's where we're at with Nashville. I mean, think about how many people threw mad money on them being the Stanley Cup champions this season, or at least being the strongest team in the West. And then they come out and they can't piece together their game. And it just proves to you that a roster full of all-stars is not always going to be the star roster in the league. So I think that that is being reevaluated. But the talent is there. I think where I'm more surprised, and possibly where Nashville's coming in as the top dog in this, is that Saros was considered a Venza guy. He was supposed to be out there competing as a top 5 goaltender, and look at the amount of goals that he has let up. Yeah. So I don't want to say his job is on the line, but his reputation is on the line right now. So you're going against a Boston team where Nashville has enough talent to disrupt their zone entry. So there's a couple of adjustments that they're going to make to where they're going to make this a more difficult game for Boston. But as for Boston being underdogs, it doesn't totally make sense. For another headline factor of hockey, Stamkos picks up his first goal finally the last game, and he did it on the power play. No surprise there. The concern is that it was 5-on-3. It wasn't even 5-on-4 for one. And now they have to consistently find a way to find him in his sweet spot and make it work. So maybe they're confident at the adjustments that Nashville's been able to make to go against a Boston team that, depending who's there between the pipes, they can draw a lot of penalties from fever heads like Marchand and Zadorov. So they're banking on that. So you're going against a Boston team that that can have a lot of sin bin action. And if that's the case, they feel like they finally found Stamkos' sweet spot. Then you got Marchessault that's gotten on the board. So favorably, I think they're going to try to mind manipulate this game to get some power play points and to walk away with a W. Maybe even some overtime. I could see this one going to OT.
Now, really show off your skills before we get you out of here. How do you make games like San Jose and Anaheim exciting?
Easy. Fade the worst team in hockey. That's easy.
So
no, you can't do that because that's
Nashville
where sneaky things happen.
Okay. So if that's not if that's easy, how do you explain? Are you paying any attention to what Utah is doing? Is this exciting? Right? How fun is Utah, Case?
I'm here for Utah. I'm here for everything Utah is doing, because Utah is taking basically like the blueprint of what Seattle did so well in terms of making hockey exciting. But they did well they had the capital to bring in so many guys where they were dying on the rosters that they were at. They have a very simple system where a lot of these pieces came in so perfectly and could be extremely talented. And I might say that biasly because they picked up Mikhail Sergachev from the Tampa Bay Lightning roster.
You won't let those guys go. Once they get a hold of you, huh? When
I'm
they
so
move
loyal
from Tampa, you stick with them, don't you?
I'm so loyal, and I will root for them as long as none of them go to the Rangers. I loved Barclay Goodrow, but the minute he put on a Rangers jersey, I couldn't talk about him.
That's it.
I couldn't talk about him. I wouldn't disrespect him, but I would not say his name. I said it one time during playoffs, and that's because I had an ESPN radio situation, and I had to be very unbiased. But then after that, it's the only time I've mentioned Goodrow. Now he's on the West Coast, and I can't stop talking about him. Picked up a shorthanded goal the other week. It's not like it was all that crazy, but still, I love him. How to make a game? What?
Are you going to the game tonight? Like the Lightning are in your neighborhood.
Good
Are
game.
you going to the game tonight?
I am, but as I told you, I'm nervous because I really don't know how many like Tampa fans are going to be here in New Jersey.
Listen, I'm getting hot.
You're not wearing a jersey.
I'm
know you're not wearing a jersey.
Really hot. And I was going to FedEx this to you tonight because I know that you were very torn.
You're not wearing a jersey.
I know you were very torn.
Rosie, please tell me he's not doing this.
I know
he does
you're
all the time.
Confused.
You're not doing this. We just had a situation where you were wearing the wrong stuff.
Happens a lot to him.
I get very confused, Case.
Yeah,
my goodness.
I'm just saying.
It's not an excuse. I need to talk to your wife and kids.
All right. He's a Pittsburgh guy. We talk food from time to time, Kasey, here on this show. Okay. So I need to ask you this question because this just came out. So obviously Dave's all about Russell Wilson now. It's all Pittsburgh, right? So in Pittsburgh, the Primanti Brothers Sandwich Company is like the Subway of Pittsburgh. Everyone goes.
I feel like I heard about this.
Okay. So they've come out with the Danger Russ. This is a pepperoni, salami, ham, and bacon sandwich.
It's a lot of meat.
Served with Primanti Brothers signature provolone fries in the sandwich, which is a Pittsburgh thing, and tomato.
Yeah.
Would you partake for lunch if someone gave you a Danger Russ? Would you eat a Danger Russ?
No, because that sandwich is dangerous for real. The amount of things in there is very concerning. Like maybe chill on the pepperoni. You don't have to have that. Did you mention salami on top of it? Just pick one of those. They're in the same
Put all the meat on there. Pittsburgh, they love the meat. They just pile the meat on the sandwiches.
Pepperoni,
like
salami.
What is Pittsburgh's cholesterol level? I'm very curious because I know Florida's trying to be the next LA. We're doing a lot of green juices down there, but that sandwich is dangerous. Everybody should take that as it is.
After one game for Russell Wilson, he is a sandwich.
Now, how quickly is Pittsburgh going to turn on him if
fast?
I don't even.
They play the Giants on Monday. He better not lose that game, Case. We got to talk about that next Monday night on the pregame show.
Right.
And
I'll be sure to wear my Giants gear.
You know, you should pick some up. I think you should. I think that would make for a great show.
You know what? The only reason you can say that to me is because I will not wear anything New York. The Islanders are the only team that I'll.
You are welcome on this show whenever you want. Whenever you want to come back, I
will not. I have too much PTSD from Eastern Conference Finals between the Rangers and the Islanders. The Islanders, I'm subpar because of a friend, but I mean, like outside, no. Tri-state area does not get my loyalty.
Listen, It's 75 degrees here in Vegas. Are you ready for winter yet?
No.
You have Jersey, I'm going to leave you with this, but we'll talk about the weather on the way out. Are you ready, Case?
I'm not. I need to get a parka and a few other things because I went to walk my dog last week and it was 41 degrees.
Welcome.
And my poor puppy, she could not. I had to run back upstairs to make sure to properly lay her up. I didn't bring any scarves to Jersey. Who does that? But my mom made sure to tuck leather gloves in my pocket. So I look like an actual freak. Everybody knew I'm not from here because I had on this weird jacket, leather gloves because my fingertips were going numb, no scarf, no beanie, a baseball cap, a TV baseball cap, sweatpants, and Uggs that broke while I was downstairs also. It was a whole conundrum. Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to shovel anything.
So
I made sure to pay for parking. No, I paid for parking. So they better handle that by 6 a.m.
Smart.
7 the latest.
Can't shovel heat. That's why Florida, Vegas, you can't shovel heat. That's what I always say. I'm from Boston, so I'm used to it. But my gosh, your first winter is going to be an experience. Kasey, thank you for being here. Awesome. Look forward to having you back on the show again soon, right?
I can't wait to chat with you guys. Thank you for having me, and go Bolts.
There's Kasey Hudson from Sports Grid joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get her on the program talking about everything hockey and going to the game tonight. It's gonna be fun. That's a good game.
Yeah, she's really into the hockey. It's great. She was a pregame and postgame host for the Lightning down in Florida. So she's gonna hopefully they're gonna get a hockey show set up on
Oh, good.
Sports Grid that she's going to host. She's been hosting the WNBA show, so that season's over. She
BVB
definitely
beanie.
needs a BVB beanie. We're going to get her some.
Wow, Percy, you're in love. Wow, look at that.
There you go, Percy.
Love.
That's
Very
what
good.
we're trying to do. We're trying to just keep growing the show, bring people on, tell somebody about it. Go watch the replay. This will be replayed tonight. They had us back on replay on Sports Grid last night and on Sirius XM.
One of my former producers that was tagging us and putting that out last night. He was about to deadlift
working
a bunch of
out.
weight.
Yeah, he went to work out.
Saw
us on the screen. He was
like,
putting in work while we were working. That was awesome.
Good to think. Good to see. That was a lot of fun. So thanks for Kasey for coming on. Okay, what happened last night? We touched on it a little bit. The Ravens win 41-31. They improved to 5-2 on the year. Here's the question. Lamar threw 5 touchdowns last night in that game. Lamar has already won 2 MVPs so far this year. Is another MVP type season loading here for Lamar Jackson, in your opinion? The numbers would say that he is currently the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. Plus 210, Mahomes at plus 470, Josh Allen at plus 650.
Is there anyone other than the first 4 guys winning it?
Probably not. No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And as good as Jordan Love looks as the 5th choice, I don't think, unless all 4 of them get hurt. Where's Russ? Covey, it's too soon. Calm down. Calm down. Please.
That's great. Where's Russ?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe, the Danger Russ sandwich.
Yep.
It's a lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
A lot of meat. Like, it could have been selective about the meat.
Danger Russ.
Danger Russ. Hold on. Pepperoni, salami, ham, and bacon. Like, isn't that enough?
It's a lot of pig. It's a lot of pig.
Like, that's you got to go right to the cardiologist.
Yeah, you just need prosciutto, and then you need what other pig dried cured meats are there? That's almost all of them, I think. That's a lot.
Pile some more on your plate. It's like that boy said back in the day.
Otto, he's going to Primanti's right now.
Take a picture of it. Tag us with the hat and the Danger Russ sandwich. Otto, we'll retweet that all over the socials. We appreciate you, sir, for being here and watching the show. No, pulled pork. Nate, we can't add pulled pork to that. That's too much.
Yikes. It's already
MVP
pepperoni on there.
Looming. There is pepperoni on there, D Weezy.
I already said that. I think it's potential. If he found Mark Andrews last night, it was like, oh, right, I got a good tight end. Let me throw the ball to Mark Andrews. So he got him involved. Look, they're 5-2.
Derrick Henry is going to be able to run without getting touched on a lot of plays.
Now you know why.
They're going to be very formidable.
Now you know why I bet them to win the whole darn thing. That's why I bet them, because I think that offense is going to be ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I put it out on my Twitter at SportsBK and Sig last night, right after. I love to do these things right after.
Okay.
Who's going to win the AFC after the Chiefs beat the Niners on Sunday and right after the Ravens dismantle the Bucs last night? I put Ravens, Chiefs, anyone else. The percentages so far on the votes was in the 40s. I think it was 42, 42, and 16 for anybody else. Is it over? Is that the AFC Championship?
Yes, but it's not over. But that is going to be I would be very surprised if it's not Baltimore versus KC. Major injuries will have to happen, which can happen. Okay. I still told you what I think happens to Mahomes this year. So
somebody to represent the AFC is going to have to beat both of them.
The Bills or the Texans can't?
Bills, Texans, or
that's your next level.
Bengals or Steelers.
Well,
that's the way they went down.
Yeah, I don't put Bengals, Steelers in that category. I have Ravens, Chiefs.
The Bengals did it. They did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know, but Bengals aren't any good. But Bengals defense is banged up and they can't run the football. So I line through the Bengals, and you have Russell Wilson. So line through you guys. So there's 4 teams that are legitimately in contention to get to New Orleans. It's Texans, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs. To me.
JC from KC, cover your ears. If it's not the Chiefs and it's not the Ravens, type it in the chat right now. All of you football heads,
Texans.
all of you hockey heads, That's who you're going with? If you're typing it?
If it's not those, they're the third best team in the AFC in my mind. Yeah. When healthy, they're the third best team. They got, but Nico Collins got to come back. Without Nico Collins, I don't think so, but you need Nico Collins.
Wow.
If Nico's there, yeah. I'm with Gorov.
Give me Houston, 1-star.
It is top heavy. AOW it is top heavy.
That's being polite.
And the Bills are there. I mean, the
Hi,
Bills
Yorkie. I hope you enjoyed the hockey conversation, Yorkie. Bills?
We got more to come. Yeah, the Bills are, I mean, look, the Bills are there. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, I think you have to. I wonder about the receiving core for the Bills, and I worry about their defense. So I'm not in love with this, but
no one's going to say Pittsburgh. That's the best
with Fields. Not Russ.
Fields.
I would agree with you.
Whitrock,
I can get behind that. I can't get behind him.
Whitrock.
The
Pittsburgh
thing
has
that was
an H. Don't leave the H off immediately. That gets people. That's like calling somebody a name in Pittsburgh that they don't
really
want to hear.
people do that. They forget the H. Oh, interesting.
All the time.
Oh, interesting. I think what's wild about Russell Wilson, and this is like his arm strength is not there. He throws a great deep ball, but teams are going to figure that out. Like he's a one-trick pony. This is what he can do. He can throw up to guys like Pickens. But teams are going to figure that out. Like, you got to be able to run the ball at Najee. You got to be able to pick up first downs in different ways. You got to be able to throw the ball. His arm strength is lacking. It's just so Fields is still the better quarterback for your team in my mind. It's one game. It's the Jets. The Jets suck. It's massive overreaction to a banged up. Jets suck. Jets are so bad.
The Jets aren't even, I mean, they're like 30-1 after all of those other teams.
They're horrible.
It's going to take a miracle for the Jets to make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah. You don't fire your head coach halfway into the year and things are normal. Like you don't go and do that in the NFL.
Well, I mean, that may fix something, but I don't know what. They got a lot of things
it fixes the ego for Aaron Rodgers. What it does, it gets him to relax because he wants to kill everybody. So now he gets his Binky and Devontae Adams. He gets the coach fired, and now what? Hey, guess what? You're 0-2.
I think I would put it Bills slightly ahead of the Texans right now in that order. Yeah.
Oh, I like
and I think I would put the Bengals slightly ahead of the Steelers until they play.
Okay.
And I see it because I feel like the Bengals are going to beat the Steelers, if not once, twice. Steelers beat the Ravens last year twice. I don't know how. As of right now, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out a lot when they start playing each other.
That's a revenge game in a lot of different ways. Yeah, the Patriots can overtake the Jets in the standings. If they beat the Jets this week, the Patriots will be ahead of the Jets in the standings.
Is that real?
Yeah, because they'll be head to head.
That's not even Boston propaganda.
They'll both have 2 wins. Well, but head to head, Boston will have the Patriots will have beaten the Jets head to head, so they will overtake them in the standings. It's ridiculous, but true. You know, it's true. Well, that's Ross. That's a big limb. Okay, that's a big limb. But Tua's return. I mean, I have an over 9.5 win bet on the Dolphins, so I would love to see them resurge and get back into the picture. But
limb, that's a whole nother tree.
It is. That's
and you may be out of your tree if you think that Miami's going to. They got to win almost every game in the back end.
Yeah. They got to go scorching hot, which is probably not going to happen. But
out of the 9 games, they got to win 7.
I think it is wild how many people, and I'm with them. I'm agree with like how many people are outwardly criticizing Tua for taking his life into his hands to play football. And I think there's some reality to it, but it is like, I really wonder what it must be like to be him, to be like, are you me? Like, if you're not me, then don't worry about me. Like, I'm me. I got me. Like, no one's telling me what to do. I'm a grown man. I want to play football. That's it. That's what I do. I play football. If I get hurt, I get hurt. I'll deal with the consequences later in life.
Should he wear the bubble helmet thing?
Yes, he should wear a damn spacesuit. Give him. He should wear whatever he can do. I've said it before. We said you and I talked about this a ton on over the last couple of years that we feel like we're going to watch the end of his life on a football field.
Oh God,
sucks.
Don't want to ever see that.
No, but like every time,
I don't like seeing guys get hurt. Like Godwin went down and his ankle was the other way.
Yeah, I said knee, his ankle. I apologize for that.
Yeah, it was his ankle, and
he had surgery this morning.
Jess and Kendall were there, and they're like, and I went, oh, and then Joe Buck said, well, our producer just said we're not going to show it again.
Yeah,
and so she looked up and went, well, how bad was it? I'm like, his ankle was turned the other way. Yeah, it just he's done. How do you know? I'm like, he's done.
Yes. He's done. There's no return to that.
It's I don't want to see
Hutchinson. It's like he's done. Like there's no coming back.
Done.
That.
That's it
For this year, not a while. Yeah, put him in a NASCAR Hans device. Good point, JPC. Yeah, give him something that's going to help his head from snapping around. Give him one of those old school like linebacker neck brace things.
I love the neck brace.
The Carl Mecklenburg neck.
I wore one of those when I was 11. I told my dad I'm wearing a neck brace. He's like, "What?" I said, "Jack Lambert wore one. I'm wearing one. Give me that neck brace thing." So he did. It was great. I love it. They're playing the Cardinals this week for the Dolphins. They're going to win.
Cardinals came back and beat the Chargers 17-15 on a last-second kick last night, and you guys mentioned how boring that game was.
Holy crap.
But Harbaugh, after the game, said, we got a double move on. He got grabbed. I'll let them, the referees, explain how they officiated that play. That play broke me, Dave. That play, and then the roughing call in overtime, or the roughing call at the end of the final 2 minutes, where Marvin Harrison jumped up. A guy jumped at the ball, knocked the ball away, but because his helmet hit Marvin Harrison, they said he launched at him. And so they then flagged it 15 yards, which changed the entire drive. I think
I've bumped heads with Kendall putting the dog's food down on the ground harder than that collision. They're playing football.
See, my thing, and everybody wants me to rant on this, like, and it kind of a continuation from what I was saying on Twitter last night. And it broke me in a way that I'm not even that angry. Like, I'm not coming at this from a place of like,
oh yeah,
I'm not screaming. I'm not yelling. I'm coming at it from a place of actual thinking. I'm putting, it's a joke when people say we put real money down on this stuff, but I'm putting real money down on this stuff.
Yeah,
and
not much more.
When I'm betting, I'm literally, I said it last night, and I'm seriously considering cutting my NFL betting in half and saying, okay, I'll bet 1 or 2 games a week. I'm not going to bet 4 to 5 games anymore. I'm watching it consistently play out with inconsistent rules being officiated, with inconsistent play, with coaches that drive you crazy, with situational football not being followed.
No.
The kickoffs suck. The kickoffs are embarrassing. I don't know why we have them. It looks stupid. I turn on a college football game and I feel like my eyes are taking a bath. It's like, oh, I'm watching football again. I've said this before. I've ranted before on this, but until the NFL realizes that people like violence, we're never going to get back to the game that we love, because this over officiating for contact, what are we doing? Like, we're protecting the quarterback in such insane ways. We're overprotecting every wide receiver. Every running back is getting every call. It's like, we're watching a game, and then you turn on the college game, and I get it. Targeting is a thing, and targeting is controversial because of how it's being officiated. But for the most part, the review process for targeting, we have a very clear understanding of what it is. There's a checklist you go down. 1, 2, 3. Was it this, this, and this? And if it qualifies, if all boxes get checked, fine. It's targeting, 15 yards, and an injection.
Most of the time. It's still a little bit vague.
Yes, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not perfect.
It's not. But
I feel more comfortable watching a college game and watching the way that college football is being played with the level of physicality and the level of violence. Every Saturday, I'm now 7 for 7, where I've watched a Saturday and I've gone, holy shit, if that's in the NFL, that's a flag. I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be saying that the professional ranks, that they are softer up there, that they are overprotective up there, and that the college ranks are allowing the players to play the sport.
Well, I think there's pressure from above to do this. It's not like the officials are doing something that they're not told to do. They're told to officiate it this way, and it's turning people off. It's turned guys that I've known for 20 years in the book. They don't even want to watch the games on Sunday.
I don't want to watch the games anymore.
It's tough. It's a tough watch. I've been saying it for about a decade that, I mean, I love football, but I don't really like the NFL a lot of days. Like there's days where I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. And I enjoyed the Chiefs and the Niners game. I did. Like I watched it from beginning to end. And I had the other games on, and they turned into non-games for the most part, although the Raiders game did get interesting. But
I mean, the NFL used to sell videos, guys. For you guys who are too
young,
them
all.
The NFL used to sell big hit videos.
Hit videos.
Where you had a safety going over the middle and knocking the living daylights out of somebody. And the NFL put their stamp on it. They marketed it. They pushed it. It was what made the NFL great. Dave and I's generation, okay, guys who are between the age of 60 and 35, and some of you guys are younger than that, but this is what made the NFL. Guys who grew up in the 70s and the 80s. We're the ones that made the NFL the multi-billion-dollar entity. It's this new generation of protecting everybody and giving everybody a damn pacifier in a diaper and wanting them to sit in the corner in their playpen and sit there. It has to stop. Because this is not what this sport is. This sport is violent and dangerous. When you sign up for it, and that's why it makes me mad about the Tua thing. Everyone's like, Tua shouldn't play. You're not him. Should you get into an octagon with a 4-ounce glove against Francis Ngannou? Should you go up against a guy who could literally knock you into next year and you'll never wake up? No, but someone wants to do that for competition. Someone's going to say, I'll fight him. Sure. How much money are you paying me? And I got to protect you from yourself. I'm sorry. Like, when did we become this society that we always protect people from themselves? Like, this is beyond, like, I don't care if it's political, I don't care what it is. We just want to protect everyone from everything else. And like, you don't know any better, sorry, so you can't play football where there's actual contact.
In certain environments or arenas, okay, let's do this. But this is football. This is what we wanted. We signed up for this. This is what we trained for. This is what people are paying to watch. So all I want to do is watch football. And I don't feel like I can. I certainly don't really feel like betting on it confidently. All you hear is it's fixed this, it's fixed that. Do I get my money back when this guy doesn't play or get hurt?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Then just don't bet it. Like, find something else to bet on.
No, college football.
Is it fixed or you feel more confident in? Just do that. But like, when they get together after something happens and talk and then go, okay, well, this is the rule. And you're like, wait, what? What just happened?
It happened in the Georgia-Texas game. And it happened, and they got the call right, but the call was like, wait a minute, what are you calling? And then they'd like go back and figure it out, and they go, we didn't review it, but somebody called down and told us that we can't call this. That was wild. Georgia won the game, but if they had lost the game, that would have been the topic after Georgia, Texas. The Harbaugh argument that he made in the quotes on the screen, I mean, they literally tackled the guy who was trying to make a double move, and the referee's like, it's not catchable, so we're picking up the... It's not catchable because you're holding on to the guy. If it's not pass interference, it's holding then. It's easy. It's a 5-yard first down. You run on. Instead, it's, now it's 4th down. We're punting. It's like, what are we doing?
It's a penalty. Like, it's a penalty. If like in hockey, if you slash a guy and the referee sees it, it's not conditional on, well, he wasn't looking. Oh, the puck wasn't around. It was just like, when you get those explanations, you want to talk about the integrity of the game. And the league loves to put this out there about the betting. You need to know what the product is. And I think right now, there's a lot of lifelong fans of football that are confused or just disenchanted.
Yes, that's
with
the word.
The product.
Yes, that's the word. It's a disenchanted. It's a frustration. I love the NFL. I'm not one of these people. I'm not telling you I'm not going to watch the NFL. I'm going to watch the NFL. It's what I do. I'm not going to watch it as much, but when it comes to gambling and coming to do the research, do the work, look at what's going to happen, and then go and watch the game and go, wait a minute, what just happened? How did this go down the way that it went down? Because I don't like there were plays in football that were super exciting, and the kickoff was one of them. An onside kick was another. Like, there's moments where the NFL has decided to take out some of the most exciting plays that they have because they're trying to do what? Avoid a lawsuit? Like, what? I still have yet to hear a real, like, logical explanation. Well, concussions. Well, wait a minute. Growing up, aren't we all taught how to avoid getting our heads knocked playing football? Like, so what's the point? Oh, we have to teach the guys better. Okay, we teach the guys better. Don't change the way the game is playing, because I can't wait to see the numbers out of college football. Let's see how many concussions that they're dealing with, because I don't know what they're dealing with, but I do know that the game at college, watching kickoffs and onside kick and watching the fun, that's football. Watching college football for me is watching football. I feel like I'm going back in time to like the late 1990s and 2000s. Remember how the Patriots won their first Super Bowl? They won it by beating the living daylights out of the Rams. Couldn't do that now. We wouldn't be able to win. Every flag would be flying like crazy.
It takes away from the flow of the game. then you watch it and you get an apology on Monday.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
You know what? That was incorrectly officiated. Like, okay. I mean, the special teams coach for the Steelers almost lost his mind.
He did.
And he was right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watching was right. Like, even now, you're starting to see in the booth, they used to put these guys up there to just confirm whatever was happening on the field. It felt like company guys are keeping the company line together. Now they're going, I don't know. Like, that should have not been called. And you're watching at home going, what are we doing? And then casual fans are losing interest.
Yes.
Now, again,
I
love
remember
football too, but like, I can see it by people, lifelong fans in my house, like my wife. She wants to watch Mahomes play and the Chiefs. That's it. She used to want to watch football all the time. My father-in-law, Pap, loves the Steelers. Our whole lives were centered around, are the Steelers kicking off at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and we're all watching the game. Now he's like, I don't really like it that much anymore. So maybe it's a younger person thing. They can't keep their attention span. That's happening.
No, I remember when I was in Alabama, I was probably 24, 25. And I remember a guy walked up to me and said, the NFL is not going to be king forever, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was probably 70 years old, and I don't know if he's still with us now or not. But he said, well, I'm old enough to remember when the NFL was lucky to be around. He's like, you guys, your generation, you guys made this what the NFL is, but you guys think it's always been this way, because in your life, it always hasn't been this way. I mean, the Super Bowl, this was, 30 years ago. We were in like the upper 20s, upper 30s for the Super Bowl, right? We'd only had like 28, 29, 30 Super Bowls. He's like, I saw the first. He's like, it wasn't always like this. It will change. The NFL will at one point in time will not be the king. And I thought, it was like, you're insane. The NFL is never not going to be the king. This is the number one sport. There's no way. Baseball's too slow. Hockey is a Canadian sport. Basketball is a sport that's primarily played, like if you go to the cities, the rural areas don't really pay attention to the NBA, not that much. The urban centers really pay attention feverishly to the NBA. But outside of it, like you go to the outskirts of Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia and whatnot, like the kids are playing basketball, but they're not living and breathing with tonight's opening night with the two games that are going to be on tonight. Right. So I don't know. I feel like the college football playoffs has a potential to show the NFL their ways, and they might course correct if the college football playoffs go head to head and pull bigger numbers than the NFL, or even anywhere near close to the NFL playoff games. Because I think there's a real shot of this, that the college football playoffs in January are going to be better than the NFL playoffs. And if that happens,
playoffs, we've been talking about it off the air. It's going to be better.
It's
going to be better. I mean, like the NFC playoffs are going to be good because there's a lot of teams that I feel like on a one gamer could win it.
Right.
But the first year of 12, I mean, give the boys and girls, we got a nice crowd in here. Give them something to vote on again right now.
I remember this, by the way.
Mark Cuban said in 2014 that the NFL was 10 years away from an implosion.
I remember I did a show on that. I remember I did a whole show on that.
Right.
And I was like, he's nuts.
Yeah.
I was dead wrong. Mark Cuban was right.
Yeah.
He was right.
What playoffs are you looking more forward to right now, football wise, college or pro? Just ask them. Because I mean, we got a wide range of people from, almost 50 states, 8 or 9 countries watch the show. And again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, @ Boston versus the book. I don't even think it's a question. The college football playoff, Chef Benny, will be incredible. I think it's going to be. I really don't think it's going to be close. It's going to be better. There's going to be a dud, of course. The 5-12 game is probably going to be a dud.
Yes.
But, whoever sneaks in the AFC is going to go to Baltimore and get destroyed. Like, whoever it's going to be.
Right.
They're going to get crushed.
I just watch college and I feel like I'm watching the game I love, and I watch the NFL and I question what I'm watching. And that's my problem.
And I don't want to do that.
Right. And I wish I didn't do that. But last night was the first time it just broke me. Like watching that call and watching that flag be picked up and then watching the Marvin Harrison call, I just went, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't. I went 1-1. I lost 0.1. Okay. I lost the juice on the NFL last night. Like it wasn't like I lost a ton of money and I went 0 for 7 on my bets and I'm crying because I'm losing. I'm down 3 units in the NFL this year. I'm not down a lot. I'm up 9 in college football. Just a different set of circumstances, my interest level, my desire. On Saturday, I wake up. I can't wait to go to your house. I can't wait to get the picks in, and I can't wait.
I already highlighted the games
right
for Saturday. I grabbed the sheet today,
yeah,
and I got all these games highlighted. I'm like, wow, Thursday night, Syracuse is playing Pitt. That's going to be an interesting.
Friday
game.
night is here with UNLV and Boise.
Boise's coming to town. Friday with the Heisman. Guy, Genty, and all this other stuff, and the possibility that the winning team of that game could end up in that spot is awesome. Crazy BYU stories, incredible. They're still undefeated. Florida State and Miami. Miami's a 21-point favorite.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel bad. Florida State, I mean, they're not even close to – I mean, they got the uniforms, and they're at the same school, but that ain't even – they might as well be Robert Morris. Forget about being Florida State. And then the back of the sheet, Notre Dame Navy. The kids were supposed to work security or the refreshment stand at that game, but they're not. They got to go to Rutgers for something else now, so they're upset. But that was going to be awesome. Game day's going to Indiana for the first time ever. The Hoosiers are undefeated, hosted Washington. That's great. And then, oh, by the way, we got SEC games.
Yeah.
LSU, Texas A&M. Come on.
Huge
Missouri, game. Alabama. What? Texas is going to Vanderbilt after getting whacked.
Look at the line. Yeah, look at the lines on some of these games. They're big. I'm with you. I love Saturday. I look forward to Saturday, and then Sunday I'm just like, okay, like all right, yeah. I mean, I like watching the Ravens
Sunday.
What?
We got Jets Patriots.
Yeah, which and the Jets should kill the Patriots, and if they don't, I get to laugh.
Ravens Browns. Hello.
That's not
Cardinals Dolphins.
No, Ravens Browns next week, right?
No,
this week.
That's this week.
Can't be. Ravens played last night.
Yeah,
Ravens played last night.
Yeah, they're playing the Browns this week. No,
Ravens and the Browns are playing on
Sunday.
Monday night. Sorry, I think it's Thursday. Sorry, it's Monday. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what day of the week it is.
I got the schedule for Sunday.
Right.
I'm going down the games. I'm going. All right, Panthers, Broncos. Oh, here we go. Lock it up. Chiefs are coming here. I mean, there's not like I'm looking at the card going.
No, see, this is Jake. I want to make sure. I'm fed up. I want to make sure that I'm making this perfectly clear. I do not believe the NFL is fixed. I don't believe that any sport league in America is fixed. I don't buy that. There may be players or two doing some janky, weird things that aren't appropriate. Okay, for every Jonte Porter out there, there's 10,000 guys doing it the right way. Okay, so I get the idea that it only takes 1 or 2 bad guys, and then everything is called into question. I don't think the NFL is fixed. I think the NFL is being run improperly. I think the game itself is being led down a wrong path because these guys are so concerned about their dollar. They're so concerned about the bottom line that they're worried about future lawsuits and everything else that might come in the future, that instead of just playing the game and saying we're going to play football, that they have to find a way to change everything to make it safer. And they're going to claim that the game football's not safe. Can we just, I wish someone had the balls to say that boxing's not safe. That even WWE's not safe really, even though it's scripted, even though that's going to be dangerous. Like adults do dangerous things all the time. Like there are guys this weekend, you guys are going to go and have 2 drinks and get behind the wheel. Is that safe? No, that's stupid. But people are going to do it all the time. I'm not drunk. I'm just buzzed. People do it all the time. Yeah. Yet we can't, people do dangerous things. People jump off cliffs. People jump off rope swings. People drive cars 200 miles per hour. Is it smart? No. Is it fun? Yes. And people want to live their lives. And the NFL is so afraid of just letting the sport play out because of what might happen down the line. Oh, you guys didn't protect the player. Who was trying to protect the player? The player's not, if they're not trying to protect themselves because they're playing the sport, what are we doing?
Well, I think you have to be responsible, but you can't be overprotective. Like you have to have rules, but you can't officiate it. You know, there has to be a thing that everybody can at least agree to. And right now, NFL's trying to like reinvent itself, rediscover itself. They're moving the goalposts, so to say. Like, we want to be this, we want to be that. We still want to have kickoffs. Just stop having kickoffs. Like, just somebody make a decision. Like, look, everybody's coming at us because of the kickoffs and all the injuries that are happening. So guess what? We're just going to give the teams the ball in the 20 because it's silly. What we're doing is silly.
Silly.
Like, it's just silly.
Or
Go
just have
watch
kickoffs.
kids play flag football, or just say, listen, this is the game we have. We're having kickoffs. Guys are going to get hurt. I don't know what to do, but like what you're doing is not working. So I think it's a real issue. Someone asked a good question in the chat. It flew by. I can't remember. The chat's flowing today, boys and girls. Thank you. It's really good to see all this interaction. Are you down on the NFL because the Patriots stink?
No, not at all. Got nothing to do with it. I'm still watching. I got up at 6:30 in the morning to watch that ridiculous football game. I got up and watched it.
I did too.
I watched.
Raise your hand if you're in the chat if you got.
I'm going to watch it. I told you, I'm not going to stop watching. I'm not one of these people making this ridiculous comment like we saw in the week of Colin Kaepernick. They're like, I'm not watching the football anymore. Like, right. Okay. You're not watching the NFL anymore. Sure. Okay. Yes, you were. You're just making some dumb proclamation to make yourself look right. It's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about gambling in a very specific way here. This is about betting on the NFL, not watching the NFL. I will watch the NFL. I'm going to drag Dave to New Orleans. We're going to Bourbon Street. We're going in February. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to. We're going to New Orleans, Dave. We're going to New Orleans. Okay. We're going to go watch. We've gone the last 3 Super Bowls. We're going to a 4th one. Okay. We're going to another one. But I will be a cheerleader for the NFL. It's the conversation is circling around betting for me is that I'm not going to bet as much money as I have in the past because I don't believe the NFL right now is the game I grew up watching. I'm watching a different sport, and I don't know what these referees, I don't know what these coaches, I don't know what the game is going to look like from week to week. It's a different game than college. I'm not saying college is more predictable because nothing is. Predicting human behavior is very difficult to do. It's just I have more trust in what's going to happen on my Saturday screen than I do on my Sunday screen when it comes to my money.
I mean, there's so many factors in it too. Like the quarterbacks get hurt. Like and the drop off from the starter to the backup drastically affects the quality of the game. And that's just the reality of the situation.
The Dolphins game killed me. I mean, Huntley hurts his shoulder. If they're in the game, he hurts his shoulder, they lose the game by 6. Like that flipped me out on Sunday. I was like, oh my, now he was a backup on top of that.
But Miami had expectations of 9.5 to 10 season wins because Tua was playing and Tua got hurt. And now the level of drop off, they're not going to win another game, most likely, maybe 1 or 2 if he don't come back. So it's amazing that one guy can do that. The best pitcher in baseball can get a hurt shoulder and a team can win the World Series. A lot of times the best quarterback in the game team's best quarterback gets hurt and its season is done.
Done. Goodbye.
And the game is changed and it's really, really different. So I think I'm glad to hear that because like I'm that way. I love watching sports.
Yes.
We are a sports gambling show, but we're a sports show. You love sports. I love sports. A lot of people that are here that listen and watch the show love sports. Now, do we gamble on it? Of course. I got a whole life in this business of taking bets on it, working in a sports book, betting on it. You've got into it for almost 10 years now on a daily basis, do a show and a podcast talking about the gambling on it. It's okay to pivot or bet less. Doesn't mean you're not going to watch.
No,
everybody relax.
I'm going to watch. That's my issue. Like when I brought that up and people said like, oh, it's fixed. That comment, you're right. The NFL is fixed. That's not what I'm saying. And that correlation is not appropriate in my mind. Being frustrated with the product of the NFL is not accusing anybody of doing things nefarious. Right. I don't believe there's some puppet master who's out there controlling everything and
there's no script.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, hey Vegas, call Vegas. We need this side. Yeah, hey, hey, I need the under. Stop. It's not like that. Okay, it's not happening. Those things aren't going on. And so just because I'm frustrated with the product doesn't mean I'm accusing anybody of anything. I just think the product needs to be rethought by the NFL. And I think there needs to be a conversation about what they want for their league. Baseball is doing this currently. Baseball is doing the same thing. What do we want the game to look like? And while I hate the ghost runner, the pitch clock's been a nice addition. I like the pitch that you can't go over and throw over more than 3 times. I like that in Major League Baseball. I like the fact you got to face 3 batters when you come out of the bullpen. I like that. There's been some nice changes to baseball recently.
So it's ironic that you said that, because Kylie and I had a very good conversation last night after the games, and we were talking about the baseball. And she's 21, lifelong baseball fan. She goes, I hate the pitch clock. I said, what are you talking about?
As a pitcher.
She goes, it feels rushed. Like the thing I liked about baseball games, and especially the playoff games, was all the thinking and the drama and stuff between pitches. And I feel like when I'm watching the game, it's rushed. And I said, I can't believe you're 21 and you're saying this. Like, I think it's helped tremendously for the product.
Yes.
It's helped for the TV and the drama in the baseball playoffs, despite the fact that people will be like, oh, it's the Yankees and the Dodgers. It's a damn dream. This is a dream World Series for the product. Okay. Yes. Would my exactas have been a lot better? Yes. Would I have won a lot more money had one of the other 2 teams been in it, the Guardians or the Mets? Absolutely. Am I mad? No, that's my risk. I took it. Yankees and Dodgers, as a baseball guy, I can't wait to watch every pitch.
I'm with you. The NBA comes back tonight. The Celtics will open up the NBA season as the favorites to repeat at most sports books. Do you agree that Boston should be the odds-on favorite? Plus 310. Oklahoma City at 650. Knicks are 750. Sixers at 10-1. On what planet should the Sixers be the 4th choice, Dave?
I don't get it.
You got to someone.
I woke up today to the news that tomorrow this is the case. Like, I immediately thought, this is great. If I was at work today and I went in and got this alert, I might quit on that and go, wait a second. I mean, I know PG hurt himself in the preseason.
Yep.
But what has big man Embiid been doing? Like,
don't know.
He ain't playing. It's not the back end of the back-to-back. He ain't playing the opener.
It's game 1. It's game 1.
What in the hell are we doing? I swear I saw that and I went, all right, 25-1 to win the championship.
Right?
Like, just 25-1.
How are they 10-1? How are they behind the Nuggets?
None of this makes any sense.
What are we doing? Or in front of the Nuggets, rather.
Teams in the East are ahead of everyone in the West except one.
Yep.
Are you kidding me that Oklahoma City is that much better than everybody else, where Denver and Minnesota aren't? I mean, I would put them right behind. And the team that has to beat the Celtics is going to have to, I mean, it could be the Knicks. I don't know who else is good in the East. I really don't.
It's fair.
I really don't.
I mean, I think we got to figure that out, right? Sixers are a problem. Knicks are the Knicks. I mean, I don't know what Karl-Anthony Towns is going to look like playing
for the Heat
Tibbs
thing again, and Jimmy buckets, Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. Are we going to? I mean, stop with the crap. Like, who's going to? Right there it is. Okay,
this is what Yahoo is predicting here for the season. Everyone takes the Celtics to win the East. Almost everybody takes the Thunder, except the Timberwolves pop in with 2 teams coming in. The Mavericks pop in with 1. So 1 Maverick, 1 T-Wolves. Suns are predicted to come in here and win it. It's wild to kind of see how, Southwest division champs, Celtics, everybody except one likes the Knicks. One person likes the Knicks. The Suns except the Warriors. I don't know how the Warriors win that Pacific division, but I guess so. I mean, I don't like.
It's hard to let go of the Warriors. Like, the Warriors
has
been so much fun for so long,
but they're dead. They're gonna stink.
But man, they're gonna have a. I mean, it's gonna
stink. I just don't. I mean, I don't want this to be Thunder versus Celtics, like, because I don't think it's gonna happen. Everyone's just on the same page that it's the Thunder. Okay, well then injuries are happening. Like, and no one picked Boston until about halfway through last year, and then Boston became the odds-on favorite, and they just went ahead and ran away with it. But for a long time, it was Denver. Denver was the odds-on favorite to repeat last year. and it was Denver. Boston was right behind them, but it was Denver for all the way, I don't know, halfway into the year. And then Boston passed them, and then Boston was the odds-on favorite all the way through the postseason.
So for you guys who are basketball heads, if it's not Celtics and Knicks in the East, type your team, because I saw Daniel Abunah say the Magic. They're
Come
fun.
on, Dan. Stop it. The Magic.
Daniel, why?
Stop.
No, the Magic aren't going to. They're going to be better.
Yes, better. Championship? No.
Well, no,
better.
Just the other team in the East. If it's not like we can have a third team be good. If it's not, I mean, because listen, the Sixers will hang around just enough to give that false hope.
The Bucks just are dead. Like the
Bucks
are just dead. No one's going to bring up Giannis. Like he's just gone.
I guess. I guess.
Okay. I don't know.
Cleveland question mark.
I don't know if I'm just that. I still think the Bucks are the number 2 team in the East.
Butch
until further notice.
Is Shaq coming back for the match?
Right. I agree.
Shaq's not walking through that door. No Penny Hardaway coming back.
Sorry. How about the MVP race, which is pretty wild?
It is.
Luka is the odds-on favorite, but SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Ant, Tatum, Brunson.
I just did something for the first time, by the way. I made this show the full screen.
Yeah.
It's amazing how good the graphics look.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Like if you guys are watching this on a replay later or on a full screen or something, man, I mean, this is really
Sonic just said actually you have to go ahead and put it on 1080p too. You got to change that setting when you're watching.
Crap, does it look good? But Luka, SGA, Jokic,
I can't believe
Western Conference guys.
I can't believe 100-1 is Jaylen Brown. He's 100-1.
P-Roll, they're going to split the vote. They can't. I mean,
I think Jaylen Brown is just a general principle play at the year he's about to have. I think Jaylen Brown's going to be a monster this year. 100-1. It's 100-1.
I think you're right, but those 100-1 tickets look great. They go in the can the same way.
Fine.
I mean, those Skeens tickets that all them people had,
fine.
They were awesome. But it's just another, like, I don't know. I mean, Kevin Durant. Did you see the number on Kevin Durant?
Yeah, it's 750, 75-1.
What if the Suns are actually good?
There's a lot of people. I haven't completely decided what to do with my future bets yet in the NBA. I'm going to finish that up this afternoon as to over under on wins. But there's enough people that I respect that are on the win total for the Suns that I'm close to following it because they're making some pretty good cases that there's no pressure on the Suns.
And they're out of sight, out of mind. One of those situations where the division might be down and there's teams that they can just beat enough.
Nate, it's coming.
Pacers in the
East?
Coming.
Don't worry, it's coming. Pacers are going to be legitimate. Pacers are going to be a fun team for sure.
Yeah.
Not Celtics caliber, but they're going to be good. There's no debating that. I mean, the best thing about the Celtics team for me is that Boston brought everybody back. They're selling the team. So Wick was like, hey, ain't my money. I'm signing everybody. He just re-signed everyone.
Right.
He has Jalen and Jason on Supermax contracts. He brought back the role players you'd want. He's keeping everyone in. Al Horford's back. They're going to get the best shooting big man in the game, arguably halfway into the year. Unicorn's going to come back. I mean, Boston's going to play with him for most of the year again. And then they're going to add him like halfway into the year. It's ridiculous. But this is just what Boston has. They have such the ability for them to have this roster and use this roster. And frankly, I can't wait to watch Baylor Shireman tonight. I mean, I cannot wait to watch the Creighton product play for the Celtics tonight and see how much action does he get? How much part of the rotation is he going to be there? So, yes, Brendan, I said that. It's so tough to go back-to-back. I'm not picking Boston to go back-to-back. I don't think that they will. I don't think Boston will go back-to-back. I think somebody else will win it. But I'm going to cheer for it, obviously.
Say that in October, but if everything stays as is and they stay healthy and can get the 1 seed again.
Yes, they can run through everybody.
Very tough out after what they did last year and the way they did it.
The Celtics could be the next team to take over the league. Okay, this is what we've seen. The NBA is always built on eras, and We're ending the Warrior era. We're ending the Laker LeBron era. Who fills the void? We've been asking that for all the time. Who steps in and fills the void? And right now it's going to be Boston. Right now it's the Celtics. I mean, they have two players at 27 and 26 years of age who are locked up for a long time. They have a coach in Joe Mazzulla who is, I mean, if you haven't heard the quotes, Dave and I were sharing it back and forth last night. I mean, some of the quotes from Joe Mazzulla are incredible. I mean, the guy is just he's so wise beyond his years, and he's so self-confident, and he's so secure in what he's trying to accomplish with this team that he's looking for this, he's not worried about what anyone says. He's like, are you in this locker room? No. Well, then I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you say about us, because only we can control what we're going to do. The rest of you guys are just talking. Go away, all of you.
I sent it to the kids. I sent the Mazzulla quote to the kids. I said, live your life like this. Don't let anybody say anything. And don't let how you react. People are going to say what they want. They do it about us and the show every day.
I don't react to words. He said, words don't ever bother me. I react to actions, not words.
Yeah, it's fine. Like you can control. When he told those writers, like in 40 years, none of you are coming to my funeral. I mean, that's a weird way to look at life for a lot of people, but that was as real gets. I feel like, man, they got something. Them losing the way they did the year before, put something together with them. They brought everybody back, and then they went on the FU tour last year, and everybody kept trying, even the people in their neighborhood, like, we're looking to take them down because it's too easy. You got too easy of a path. You got this, you got that. They won in historic fashion.
Killed everyone on the way.
Just blasted everybody as they went. And people are always looking at, I mean, they build you up to take you down. They don't care. FEA, damn right. FEA, it's awesome. And I'm in. Like, until I see somebody in the East gonna go take it, I don't see.
You're
that
young.
happening. I mean,
You're so young.
I'm looking at the exactas, like trying to figure out the West is a mess.
Yes.
The West is a mess. Like, anybody can win the West. Yes, OKC's the favorite, but Minnesota, pretty good. I mean, I don't want to hear about the Laker nonsense, but they're going to be around as long as they're healthy. But
the Suns could be that team, though. I think the Suns are going to be around.
Nuggets.
Nuggets are going to be around. I mean, until further notice, if the Nuggets are going to be a prime component to make a trade, because right now their number one weapon or weakness is going to be lack of 3-point shooting in a league that is dominated by 3-point shooting. So I would expect them to look to address that at some point, to bring in some shooters to help out. But they have the best big in the game. I mean, they have Jokic. So until they don't have Jokic, they're a player to me. They're going to be a problem to face in a difficult team. And frankly, you have a guard who tends to get forgotten way too often in Murray. That 1-2 punch is pretty damn good, and they have a ring on their finger, so they know how to do it. So I said last year, if Boston had played Denver, I would have picked Denver. I still think Denver is Boston's kryptonite because they can't guard Jokic. They can guard Embiid. They can't guard Jokic.
Well, I think if you're looking at exactas and, you're trying to determine the East, the only justice you can do is Celtics and then maybe Knicks on the Eastern side, and then just grab a couple different ones, whether it's Suns, whether it's Thunder, whether it's
Nuggets,
whether it's T-Wolves. Are the T-Wolves ready with the trade and everything?
Sure. We'll see. I mean, I feel the same way about I'm fading Randall tonight. I think until you see, what this team looks like with a new constituted Timberwolves team, I don't know what the rotation is going to look like. I don't think Randall will have the ball nearly as much as he had it in New York. So I don't know what he'll look like with Minnesota. So, but yeah, I mean, if everything gels together for Minnesota, sure. Yeah.
Nick Tom just came in a chat and said Bucks versus Nuggets is 47-1. I mean, you got to tie up your money and you got to keep that in that pending. But I mean, you don't have to do it now too.
Right.
Like we can wait. The price isn't going to change that much unless it's, the Bucks have a great year. The Nuggets price is kind of fixed.
Right.
I think the Bucks have the biggest question of a lot of teams in the East. No,
but it's still Giannis, though. I mean, yes, but it's Giannis. It's Giannis. You still have a unicorn player. You still have an incredible athlete, an incredible matchup nightmare for teams.
And Dame time.
and Dame time, which could work this time around. Didn't work last year, but maybe after a whole year, maybe
Doc's still the coach.
No, right? Doc got let go, right? He can't be this.
Doc's still the coach. No.
He is. Oh, that's bad news. If it is, yeah, it is Doc. Yuck! Wow, I thought they didn't let him go. That was a mistake. Should have replaced him in the offseason. Yeah, it's a mistake. That's tough. That's difficult to do. Yes, I know. Porzingis is the actual unicorn. Yes, I'll give you that. But so is But I still think you've got it's Giannis. Like it's just till further notice. It's still Antetokounmpo. He's ridiculous.
Can we talk hockey, please?
No, not yet. Celtics minus 5.5 tonight. It's 6 now, right? It's 6 now, right?
I already pulled up the hockey because
it's 6. Yeah, it's 6 everywhere. It's up to 6. Open at 5 is now 6. Get to 6.5.
First game of the season. No, I think they'll buy on Boston.
Lakers open the JJ Redick era. They're home dogs to the T-Wolves. Totals 222.
Stop.
I mean, T-Wolves are winning this game, right?
Listen, I'm going to be probably, if you like the Lakers, I'll probably be one of your truthers against the Lakers all season.
Okay. I was going to say, since when do you guys know?
No. I liked the Lakers back in the day, and it's iconic. Yes, it's Showtime. Yes, all that stuff happened, but that ain't what it is now. It's going to be a compelling story, and I don't want to besmirch them until I see them. I really liked JJ Redick as a player. I liked what he said in the offseason. I just can't believe it. Like, I'm looking at the roster again going, how are they not going to just be in the play-in? Like, the best, I feel like the ceiling for the Lakers is like 9, 8, somewhere in that neighborhood where they're going to play their way in.
Yeah.
That's
I think you're wrong.
Way.
I think the Bronny thing is
top 6.
Oh, I think the Bronny thing is wild. The Bronny thing is. I saw a breakdown of. I saw an NBA guy break down Bronny's preseason, and he just lit him up.
I haven't seen anything good about.
He said this kid shouldn't even be in the G League. That this kid is going to go to the G League where they're hungry and want it, and he goes, it's going to look worse for him in the G League than it will in the NBA when he goes down there because he doesn't belong in professional basketball in America. He belongs in Europe. He's like, he's terrible.
You got to get reps. You got to get reps against grown men. You got to get reps against gangsters. You got to get. I mean, because they're going to go after him. I mean, it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, well, you're here because your dad. It's hard enough for really good players, kids to make it in life.
Coach McDermott was one of the first ones that said it publicly, and he said, if your son is going to be on your team, he is one of 2 players. He's either the best player on the team or he's the worst player on the team.
Sure.
He can't be either or. He can't be in the middle. And Bronny may be the worst player on the team.
Oh, you froze. Hold on. Snap your fingers. Hold on. Don't say a word. That's a nice freeze face. All right, you're back. Snap back.
So
okay.
He may never play. He may be the worst player on the Lakers, so he'll never play. Or he'll go to the G League and get killed. But he can't be this in-between guy at the moment because it doesn't work. Like LeBron wants the history. He wants Braun and Bronny. He wants to make history. Once that happens tonight, once they're on the court at the same time, there's no point in having his son on the roster any longer. Make history and move him on.
Yeah, that's fine. But then at the same time, you go, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I don't know. It's something that we'll have to watch, and we're going to talk about the Lakers all season long because that's what we do if we're talking about the NBA. But a serious consideration to even make the playoffs, it's going to be tough. They're going to be right around the middle.
Not happening.
His kid will have a lot of people scrutinizing everything he does. I told my daughters this when I coached them, and I said that exact thing. You either got to be the best player on the team or you're sitting. I can't have you in the middle because they're going to come after you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come after you. I'm not worried about me. Right. And I think JJ Redick will understand that. Like, he's a pretty smart guy, and his sound bites are pretty good too. He's being put in this position.
It's tough.
Go
Frozen
Tigers.
Frenzy tonight. NHL, every team will play tonight. Any recommendations on how to play this?
Someone asked on the Twitter about the Grand Salami, and I laughed because I was like, all right, what's
105.
16, what's 16 times 6? That's 96.
Okay.
So that's where I would start with the number and then go, okay, how many 6.5 overs do we have?
Bunch. A couple of 5.5s.
Well, when I looked at the board, there's only
102 were scored in Frozen Friendly last year.
Yeah. So the number's 100.
100.5. Yeah.
Okay. That's exactly. So the thought process was simple. 16 times 6, 96. There's a couple 6.5s, really mostly 6s, and a couple 5.5s. So you got to add a couple in empty netters. 100's the number. Would you go over or under?
Over.
So I looked at it and I said the same thing. I actually said there's going to be a couple games where we're going to get goals.
Yeah, 8-7 games. There's going to be a couple crazy ones.
There's no. You're right. There's a couple games where we're going to get extra.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I thought, okay, there's a couple games too though that look like duds as far as totals.
Sure. Yeah. Low scoring, of course.
I will go to the end of time with. I love watching a 1-0 baseball game, and I love more slightly watching a 1-0 hockey game.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch most of the time like a 10-3 football game.
Right.
Those are tough. And those are fun. That's what I mean. The hockey could go either way. But like the basketball, give me a game that's around 240 to be an opener for a total,
right?
Rather than the old NBA days where it was like 168, right?
Detroit
like,
Pistons.
Yeah, I mean those games in the early '90s were rough. Like it was physical. I mean, you had to like the under basketball.
Butchie likes the under tonight in the Grand Salami.
Always likes under.
I like over 105. Devils and Lightning. We talked to Kasey early in the show. She's going to go watch this. Lightning on our back-to-back.
Vasilevsky got pulled yesterday.
Yes, he did. 4 goals. Killed my under. Got lit up.
Is he playing today?
Yep.
Oh, he's playing today.
Yep. He's not according to dailyfaceoff.com. He's scheduled but not confirmed.
Here we go. As frustrating it is to look at NBA pregame, you got to confirm the goalies in hockey.
Only one goaltender played before last night. Only one goalie played all year for Tampa. So the backup came in last night, gave up one goal, gave up the third period goal, which cost me the over.
Yeah.
Give me the Devils.
Every game.
Give me the Devils.
Yeah, I'm leaning Devils too. Again, we'll have it later. I'll be on with Wetzel later and we'll talk about it, I'm sure. But first thought is over as well.
Star Sabres.
Stars until further notice.
Smaller number than I thought.
Road. You can't make the road favorite. When you get up to 135, 140, that's about the max. It's very rare you get these minus, like Toronto's minus 200 tonight in Columbus. Saw that number. Vancouver minus 170 at Chicago. Feel like Dallas should be around more like that number. Right? Are we getting the starter in Dallas? Are we?
Yep.
I don't know.
According, it's Ottinger, confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Luukkonen, confirmed.
There you go.
Starting ones are in for both team.
Yep.
Give me Dallas. Bruins, you explain this to me. Bruins have the Preds and their dogs. Preds have no points.
They're going to bet the Predators until they win.
I guess so. I mean, I thought for sure, I was like, oh, it's got to be Korpisalo. That's why. Nope. It's Swayman. Unconfirmed, but it's Saros against Swayman.
Okay. So that maybe somebody might.
Somebody knows somebody. Yeah, somebody might know something. I agree with you.
But
the
game should be probably closer to 115, 120.
But shouldn't the total be 6.5 then? It's 6. If it's Korpisalo, it would be 6.5.
You could use 6.5 under minus a quarter. You start at 6. Listen, the hockey numbers, when you start on the whole number, it's much easier.
Right, but if you have Korpisalo, this game's going over. Like, Bruins are going to give up 3 goals.
Nashville stinks. I don't know. Is it going over even if it's him? I don't know.
If it's Swayman, it goes under.
Well, yeah,
Swayman's under.
Was it going over? It might go under too.
Well, he's bad. He's really bad. Korpisalo sucks. Like the Bruins can't play the way they want to play because they can't do what they want to do. Chef Benny, 4-2 Bruins. B's and C's parlay, buddy. I see you. I know what you're doing there. I got you.
C's and B's parlay.
I got you. Hurricanes, Oilers. Edmonton's 2-4. Both teams have 4 points combined together. 6 is the total for the game tonight.
Take the plus, no?
Take the Hurricanes. Don't mind it. Oilers have been leaking oil. No pun intended.
Over.
Yeah.
I like over in that game.
Yeah. And then finally, Kings and the Golden Knights. Final game tonight here at home. Small favorite.
Dog.
Really? You like the Kings? Interesting.
It's a pick 'em game, in my opinion, when I'm looking at it. I don't know. I see it differently. Like I can't.
Samsonov in net for the Golden Knights is confirmed.
Who?
Samsonov. Backup. Not Aiden Hill. Backup goaltender.
Okay. I don't know. What these early season lines, I tell people all the time, and you guys that have been listening and watching the show as we approach show number 700, again, coming up in November. We'll hit that number probably. The beginning of the season, you go easy. Just ease into it because you can make snap judgments and you can look at stuff from last year and it's all different. All different. Be careful with the
trends are all different. Everything's different. If you guys are watching live, don't move. You're on the replay crew. Thank you, Sports Grid and SiriusXM. We appreciate you guys being here. Back tomorrow for a well-watched Wednesday. The rest of you guys get bonus time. Okay, just a couple of things. We'll save most of the college football stuff for tomorrow. We'll push it to tomorrow because we went a little long with the stuff today. With some good nuggets for college football tomorrow. How much would you pay for a World Series ticket?
I'm debating that right now.
Get-in price is $1,216 per ticket.
It's a lot.
It's the only ticket in the United States that would rival this in 2024 was Taylor Swift. That's it.
Yankees, Dodgers, bro.
It's the most expensive get-in price of the year in sports.
The irony is that Kylie went to game 3 in Arizona with the Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers. Oh, was it game 4? It was it was either 3 or 4. I can't remember. I think it was 4. Whatever it was. It was a Saturday. We drove her to the airport. She flew down. My brother-in-law Smoke picked her up. She went to the game with my nephews. I got them the tickets. They were $75 a piece. 75. 1,200. You guess what? I think you're watching on a TV.
Yep.
5 dimes for a family of 4.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough one to swallow. Unless we're seeing history like deciding.
And game 2, by the way, game 2 is 1,500. Get in.
Yeah, that's Saturday night. That's even worse. Yeah, it might be, and it ain't going to be cheaper when I go back to New York. This is going to be a tough one. I'm trying to make it happen. The kids are back east. They literally are a 15-minute subway ride, I think, to Yankee Stadium.
It's just crazy because these are 2 of the biggest seat stadiums in baseball.
Yeah,
like Yankee Stadium can sit, I think 50,000. I think 48,000 is Dodger Stadium.
No, Dodger Stadium is 55, I believe.
Okay.
And Yankee Stadium is high 40s.
Okay, so 50.
So, yeah.
You're over 50,000. That's try like if it was Yankee Stadium or Wrigley Field. It's less than 40. It's 38, 37.
Tough.
So yeah, it's a down payment on a car. Yes, of course it is.
5 dimes for a baseball game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous for one night.
Pitch clock and an under and all that other stuff. Like, wait a second, we got to pay for food too.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So the whole night's going to cost you with parking and everything else. 5,500. It's tough. That's tough to swallow that one.
I will save most of the college stuff for tomorrow, but I do just want to bring up just one thing. The books were dead wrong about Indiana, BYU, and Army. They are all 7-0 on the year. Indiana's win total was 4.5. Army's and BYU's was 5.5.
Yep.
They're all 7-0. Only 3 other teams have done that since 2010 who have done that. Yeah. Indiana being one of them.
Yep.
Between 2021 and 2023, Indiana was 3-24 in the Big Ten.
Straight up.
Straight up. Their new coach, Cignetti, is 16-1 straight up in his last 17 games as a head coach. Indiana is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games. But teams that are on that type of run are just 36, 49, and 3 against the number in their next game since 2010. Indiana's laying 6.5 at home against Washington.
Yeah, it's coming, right? It's coming.
Lucy and the football's coming.
Well, I mean, that's what everybody's going to bet. Yeah.
Take Washington.
I'm not. I took Indiana last week in the 4-3-2-1. I'm not saying I'm going to take them again. See if we can get to that, but I'd rather lay it than take it. It's coming to an end. I don't know when.
Right.
But
I think they win.
Show you that
I think they win.
Numbers, preseason numbers are a lot of like nobody knows shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
I guess this is I think Indiana wins. I don't think they cover. 6.5 is tough to me. That's a big number. At home.
Is that right? Oh
What?
my God.
Yeah.
Gorov just said Friday in LA, the Dodgers at 5:00, the Lakers at 7, and USC is playing Rutgers at 8. They're all within like 5 miles of each other. It's going to be absolute gridlock.
Well,
that's torture.
Downtown LA is not 5 miles from the Coliseum. That's pretty far away.
The Coliseum in the basketball arena, crypto, whatever it's called. It's like you can walk up to each other. They're right there. And then Dodger Stadium's up the freeway 10 minutes. Oh my God. Oh, that's going to be brutal.
I need to see that.
Oh, that's going to be brutal.
The Coliseum is that close to
the arena. Yeah.
There.
I mean, I wouldn't walk it. It's not a good neighborhood, but
Dodger Stadium. So it's about they're okay. Yeah, you're right. Crypto. They're all 3 in a row. They're all on the 110.
Oh, that freeway. Oh man,
they're all on the 110. They're all right off the 110. I thought the Coliseum was further down. It's not. It's wow.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah. So that is. It is you could walk it. It's not that bad. 3.2 miles to walk from Crypto to the LA Coliseum. And then from Dodger Stadium to Crypto, it is 3.6 miles.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 10 mile. That's a 10 mile. It's 10 miles. Yeah, that's not. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good point, Gorov. That's unbelievable. That's in 10 miles of each other.
We're gonna have to give that a nickname. You guys watching the show, think about
Dodger Geddon. Traffic Geddon.
On top of the $1,200 a ticket, you get to sit in traffic for 4 hours getting to and from.
Man, Uber drivers are going to make so much money. And oh my God, are they going to capitalize on that? That's going to be something else. Yeah, if you're an Uber driver, that's surge pricing on steroids coming up. Time for better. It's the worst too when you're living in places like New York, Los Angeles, or Philly, Boston, whatever. And like you can see where you're going, but you can't go there because your car is stopped and you're in traffic. It's like I just need to go right there. Like I can walk it, but my car, I can leave my car. What do we with the car? You know where to park the car.
We did all them years and going to tournaments in LA and Orange County and stuff. So I feel like I know my way around pretty good. And then we did the Super Bowl and all the back routes and whatever. That's sitting there and knowing you're 3 miles away and you get there an hour later is so aggravating.
Imagine living in it. Imagine living in that. Or like that's your commute.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Can't do it. No. Celtics -5.5 tonight.
This probably wins. This is a bet.
Second half, fourth quarter scares me. I'm not going to lie.
Are we on the first half thing over? I don't know. You can't start with that right away. The Celtics first half over. You did?
Team total over. Hell yeah. How could I not? It's game one. How could I not?
It's part of the routine. It works.
I'm telling everybody though, light. Light. Okay,
Easy.
This is a light play.
Easy.
The 5.5 is a half unit play. This is even lighter. This is a finger dip. This is not because it's the Knicks.
How many fingers? 3.
It's the Knicks.
Pause.
It's the
I
Knicks.
meant a drink. A drink.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I'll probably be 4 fingers in
Whoa.
to lose. But the first half, we don't know if this carries over from last year. This is a last year bet. Okay. It's the Knicks. Now, my hope is that Karl Anthony Towns makes the Knicks play faster. And so the Knicks have to play more up tempo. The Knicks won't have their defensive set the way they did with Randall, because I think Randall was a better defender than Cat. Cat's better offense. So we're going more up tempo, and Boston hits threes. This will not be easy. Okay. I don't think we're sitting here at like 60 with the 2 minutes to play in the first half, rather. So I bet it, but like, just be careful
Right.
with this play. It's, just be careful. Celtics worse. They're 6 now, Butchie. They were 5.5 last night.
Last night, yeah.
I bet last night, not right now. I bet 5.5 last night.
So just be aware of that. If you go to look at it now and you're listening or later, you're probably going to have to lay 6.
Yes, definitely have to lay 6 or buy it down if you do it. That's the thing. I have 4 different hockey parlays going tonight. I'm not going to ask you all of them. I'm just going to ask you about one of them. Rangers Devils money line.
Who the Rangers playing?
Montreal.
Canadiens?
Yeah.
Oh, this is chalk.
It's
wow.
Bad.
Well, I like the Devils.
So then you should like the Rangers against Montreal.
Yeah, they probably win. That one's going to be scary, though.
Every parlay I bet scary. They're all quarter unit plays. They're all just for fun. I took a unit and I was like, let's have fun. That's all. It was just a bunch of cocky games.
So what'd you do? A bunch of 2-teamers and
no, I did like
all that other crap.
So I have the Bruins on the puck line at plus 1.5 goals.
Okay.
With
that's got to be good. No. How's that
because
lose?
Overtime Bruins plus 1.5 combined with the Anaheim Ducks.
Wow, you got involved in that game?
Up against San Jose, worst team in hockey.
Yeah.
So Ducks and Bruins plus 1.5. That's plus 117.
Okay.
First period over for Colorado, the Rangers in Montreal, and the Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
Over 1.5 goals for all 3 of those.
The Knights have gone over every first period, no?
Yep. Rangers every game but 1. Colorado every game but 1.
Okay.
For them. And then no goal in the first 10 minutes for Dallas and Carolina and Edmonton.
Ooh.
No goal in the first 10 minutes. Dallas game will be sweaty as hell.
Right. Because Buffalo.
Yeah. The Dallas games will be, but Dallas is the number 1 team in hockey so far through 6 games. Only one time have they given it, and it's out in Net tonight.
Right.
So as long as Dallas doesn't score,
right.
If Dallas scores, I'm screwed. But I'm playing with the parlay, and that parlay is a plus 379 parlay.
Oh,
for that.
Wow.
For no goal in the first 10 minutes for Buffalo, Dallas, and Carolina. Carolina and Edmonton are the number 2 and number 3 best teams to a no goal in the first 10 minutes so far this year.
Hockey game starts at 3:00. The first one, Capitals Flyers.
Yep. So this is all.
I think. I mean, if I give you Flyers, bet it or book it. What are you doing?
Capitals.
Oh, see, I like Flyers.
I'm not betting it, but give me the Capitals. I like the way Capitals have played so far this year. They look good at times.
If you guys in a live audience, I like the Flyers. There's your pick.
I haven't bet much I haven't seen much of the Flyers yet this year. If you guys aren't following Otto on Twitter, okay, most of those trends all come from Chris Otto's Twitter account. So
at PSU Otto.
OTTO, not
Otto. Yeah.
Otto was in the Otter. OTT.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't find PSU AOAUTO. I'm like, that's not how it's spelled. Otto.
Right.
So that's just going to his spreadsheet, which he has, and going ahead and looking at different trends and looking things. And that most of those parlays, most of those first period gifts and first period overs are coming straight off of PSU Otto's account, because he does an amazing job with spreadsheet information.
Yes.
Just straight trends. We follow the trends, we do well. So favorite thing about today is what?
I mean, the obvious thing is the hockey. Like this is fun. Was surprised to hear that this is the only day that all the teams play.
They should do this twice a year, early and late.
I would do it 4 times a year. I would do it like four times, and I don't think that would take away from it being special. I love the busy days with the hockey. So, yeah, my favorite thing about today, in addition to me actually talking to my daughters last night, which was nice, is that we got hockey all day. And the last game of the night is here.
Yep.
And I may be looking to go see a guy about a thing at the
go.
hockey game tonight. So take a ride down and go watch the Knights in person after I get off of Sports Grid. That was fun. Kasey did a great job. So that was fun talking hockey with her. Hopefully we'll be able to get her as involved as she wants to or her schedule allows with us.
It's interesting because tickets for Golden Knight games haven't been that hard to get.
Oh, they're going to be great tonight.
I want to see if there's tickets. I'm just looking right now and seeing if there's tickets available tonight. I'm not going to go to it, but I'm just curious to see.
There will be tickets available.
Because for a long time you couldn't buy.
Oh no, you couldn't. Yeah, no.
You had no shot of getting single game tickets, but now I think there's actually a shot at getting it because the 8 o'clock start time on a school night on top of that. But it's the Kings.
They're here 3 times a year. That's why
it's a rivalry games. It's a rivalry game. If people come on over, they drive over.
The one game deals are very hard to get. The Penguin game, the Rangers game, the Flyers game. When they come once, they're very hard to get. They're like the football tickets.
Okay, so
the division rivals, like the Ducks games, the Kings games.
There's tickets available, but they're all secondary market tickets. There's nothing on the primary market.
I'm still old school. I walk right up to the window. If I go down, I'm just going to walk right up to the window and go, "You got any tickets available? Which section? Here they go." And they sell you right there.
Yeah, and but what if they don't have them?
Then I just get back and go over in the sports book, watch the first period, and come home.
Yeah, there's a 75. There's one ticket for 75. Oh, there's a pair for 240 each.
Where's that?
Right side. No, right side. It's section 12, row T, lower bowl.
Oh, okay.
For 240 each. Those are the only 2 tickets that are available. A couple of singles that are available in the lower bowl, but those are all 240 each for tonight. But the secondary market, there's tons. But they're asking. Actually, not that bad. They're asking like $100 each for some of them. You might get in for $100 tonight to go to the game, so it's not that bad. For me, it's a banner night, right? It's one that for banner 18's been something that was chasing the Celtics for a long time. It was a big thing because they needed to get off that tie because the Mickey Mouse championship the Lakers got because of COVID was a joke. So they had to get over on that. So I needed Boston to get an actual championship back to have the rightful lead like they should have had before, but they gave the Lakers an actual championship for that joke of a COVID title that they won. So fine. They had 17. If you say so, now with 18 for Boston, drop the banner, break the tie, back to being the top as it should be for championships for the Celtics. It's very cool. In my lifetime, this is now the 5th title that I've seen in my life for Boston to win with the Celtics. And I'm a basketball guy. I love basketball. It's my favorite sport growing up playing, favorite players. I think it's going to be a really fun season in Boston.
It is going to be a good season.
It's going to be a fun season. As long as guys stay healthy, it's going to be a fun year to watch, a fun season to bet. A lot of cool things going on.
Sixers fan and they're already hurt before the first game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Oh my, thanks, Deuce Daly. Evans is out till week 11 at least. Damn, that's a month plus. So no Godwin.
Bye Bucks.
No Evans. Bucks are a fade. Sealer, and I like.
Well, I mean, they're still in it. They're still in it with the division though.
Because the division stinks.
The division is Atlanta. I mean, come on.
The Lakers have 18 with their in-season championship banner.
Are they doing that in-season thing again here in Vegas?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And NBA means one thing: college basketball is one step closer.
Thank goodness.
By the way, you see what they're doing with the NIL tournament here in town? They changed the whole format. They're doing a bracket now. They're doing actual challenge. So they're playing 2 games. They were going to play 3 games, but now they're playing 2 games, and you're guaranteed a game on Saturday. And they're going to play it like the Maui Invitational, where your record will dictate who you play. Yeah, and the championship game will be at T-Mobile Arena on Saturday, November 30th. Creighton can't play Oregon except until then. So I might get Creighton, Oregon in the title game, which would be phenomenal if that would happen. But Oregon's got to hold up their end of the bargain. Jays will have a little bit easier path than Oregon will to get to the championship for that NIL, the players tournament, they're calling it. The NIL thing they're doing here.
Unbelievable.
That's Alabama, Houston. It's going to be
right. Yeah.
hell of a tournament. Cannot wait. Should be super, super fun. But I was excited because I thought Oregon and Creighton were going to play, and they took away the first game. So I was like, oh, that sucks. But
I got to do the NFL video for the Bettis show today.
Yep. Enjoy it.
You got to play
for the NFL this week. Take the Falcons.
Falcons over the Bucks.
Yeah, just Atlanta now is 2.5-point favorites. They were 2.5-point dogs. Now they're 2.5-point favorites.
Wow.
I don't know. Like that just seems to be right now. Take the Jags. Cubby says take the Jags at 4.5.
Jags plus 4.5. Jags
I mean, I can't believe is Daniels out for sure? Is he out for sure?
I think so.
Okay. Because if he plays, how in the hell are they 2.5-point dogs at home to Chicago?
I don't think he's playing. I mean, you have to kind of put it that he's
Tuesday.
Not playing. I know.
He can't get a rib shot and get ready to go?
Why would you risk it?
It's ribs. I mean, I don't know. Risk it.
Whole season. He's the whole season. You can't risk it and throw him in there. I don't
know. Look, it's heavy, but the Chiefs are gonna boat race.
They're gonna kill.
They're gonna boat race the Raiders. They're gonna kill the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are just such a disaster. Like I know it's 10. I know it's disgusting to lay Chiefs alt line lay 35.
I mean, seriously. I know. I don't know.
I don't know if I was gonna
got the text. I'm like, we need the video today, and I'm like, it's Tuesday. I don't even know who's playing. I don't know what the lines are, and I gotta go. I gotta go shoot this video. And I was like, you know what? I'll ask. Thank you guys. Appreciate your help.
I don't know. Chiefs minus 10. That's just lay it. Raiders are so freaking bad. We'll watch Wednesday tomorrow with our friend Alex Kane. Looking forward to that. Hopefully to see all of you guys back here for another episode of BVB. He's Dave. I am Matt. We're back tomorrow for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book.